Good evening, everyone. This is Compost Chicken Queens Plus, and this is part 2. Apparently, I can flip the camera over to selfie mode so I can make sure everything is being properly recorded, but I have to turn the camera, the video recording off. Not a good phone. I can't remember what name of this phone is, but it's junk as far as I'm concerned, even though it's new. It's a temporary. So anyways, this is part 2. You don't have to hear me whine about how horrible my phone is. Temporary phone. It's a crap. I will try to find a way to set this phone up so that people can see. There we go. So that's basically how you use it. How you use the little wrench thing. And it comes with 2 in the kit. There's the other one, because you at some point have 2 that you're breaking like this. This is still on. But once you get that started, you don't really need it. And oh, ridiculous. I will. There. Continue. I have previously, in the last video, which I required turning this, the first one off to get, so I could flip the camera, I loosened everything. So it won't be this easy, and it should not be this easy to undo it by hand because you're supposed to cinch it pretty tight. You don't want it coming apart. And so that's actually still 2 pieces. This is the little things that keep this part in place, and then you slide it up into the, here's the top, and you'll have a top plate that's already packed and in storage. So that will not be seen in these videos, though I will try to remember to do an assembly video to share with people. It's pretty easy, actually. 1 person can do it, although 2 is better, especially with the installation part, because it can be pretty heavy and you could seriously cause yourself some serious injury if you don't. I think I have the wrong one. It's a good idea to label these. I didn't, and I don't remember. So I think this is probably the tube I want. And they are very kindly, high quality tubes that all of them fit. Each one has its own tube, like that one. This one actually comes with a am I doing this wrong? There we go. And, oh, no, actually, I don't know where that came from. That. And that, it will hang out. That confused me for the moment last time. I was like, oh, okay. And then, here's the instructions. Again. Maybe if I'm lucky, I don't have the equipment right now to edit any of this, so I'm hoping maybe the YouTube gods will favor me with a photo of this as the thumbnail. So anyways, that's 1 tube down, and then we have this ring, has its own tube. Stick that in there. Oh no, wait a minute, I think it's this one. Yeah, it's that one. Just stick it in here. It's kind of a tight fit. Oh, the edge is a bit worn, so I gotta flatten that out. Oh. Of course, now it's gonna be for sneaky. Okay, I'll admit, I actually disassembled all of it and was partway through putting them all in tubes, and I thought, you know what, maybe I should do a video. So now I can't get them in. That's brilliant. And I don't want to undo the tape on this side to get a nice fresh edge. So maybe I will set that aside and work on. This one is actually a pole piece that I didn't need for the ceiling height of the apartment I was in at the time, or down here in the basement of my house that I am now moving from, where my sister and her husband and 2 children move in, and I move to a brand new place in a far off place. There. And I cut the whole thing, the X pole, comes with a lovely, lovely case to keep everything in. The top round plate that, because Expo is pressure fit. The top part comes with its own little bag, and that's already in storage. So the next piece, these guys out of the way. I'll do those later, maybe off camera. It's getting too long. And here, these rods come in handy again. Let's see if you guys can see the holes. There's one. That's actually a tension ring, so you can make it so that a nut or whatever screw, so that you can fix it. So you don't have a wobbly. You can make it spin or not spin. And then here are 2 holes to stick the rods in. And these should be a lot tighter than they are now because I did loosen them before. And oh, there we go. You don't really need to use the whole thing. Comes apart pretty easy once you loosen it, and they should be pretty snug. You don't want to over stress them because you don't want to flip the threads. I think this is the right side. Yep. This one goes in this hole. This tube. And there we go. And then little, actually very high quality dense foam stopper. Off camera, I'm pushing it into the top of this, kind of crooked like, because I'm tired. It's very stubborn. There we go. There's another one. And then this goes in, I believe it's this tube. And again, you have the little hole. This one you don't need both, but there we go. Just the fun of it, go like this. Obviously the other ones are not as practical, they're small. They're not as small as that. And that other fits in this too. Yeah, that one's definitely the taller one. Where did my other tube go? Okay, so if that goes in that tube. Or am I wrong? No. So it's the one I didn't use. That. You know what? This one might fit better in this tube. I had it right first time. No, it's not so easy. And again, the tube thing in there is getting a little rough, so it's going to catch this, of course. There we go. Yeah, that's the one, because I didn't have to force it in too much. And this, which is also heavier than that, because that's just a simple ring, fits nicely into there. And then here's the stopper. There we go. Now, unfortunately, I packed the top plate, or whatever it's called, bag, which I think this also goes in. So I'm going to have to figure something out, since that's definitely in storage. And the other things that come with this kit, besides the 2 rods, are an Allen key. It's probably standard size, but I don't know what size it is, and I have no intention of losing it. But it fits in all the places that you use to, say, tighten up the... See, now it's fixed. And now it's a little bit more. Loosen it up a little bit more like that, and then the other side on the top you would also loosen up to make this so it is a. Don't pull it all the way out. Oh, did I miss? Oh, that's right. There's one on the other side. There are 4 things where this is needed. There we go. Going the wrong way. Lefty loosey, righty tighty, right? Put that back in a bit. And then, see? Now it's free spin, as opposed to locking it. Tighten that up there. Supposed to install it tightened, which makes sense because it's less ungainly. Yeah, do that for when I install it at the new place. That. And it also comes with a massive wrench to tighten up the couple of areas on it, including here where the small wrench is worked for. And then the bigger one, I can't remember what it's for, but it's in the instructions, which again, don't lose them. They are good, and you don't have to look on the internet, especially if you have older equipment like I do. Though I imagine the kit is not that much different than the other ones. So in here goes the Allen key, my 2 rods, loosening and tightening rods, and yeah, don't you know, dancing, pole dancing is actually a very skill intense exercise, and if you want to do this properly, don't cheap out, don't buy the bullshit, you know, unless you can actually get a real X pole on Amazon, which is possible. I don't know. Amazon I don't think was around, at least not to the extent it is now, back when I bought this. But just go to the website and buy the X pole from the website. Then you don't have to worry about cheap knockoff bullshit that could get you killed or extremely injured, because these are no joke. You know, you can Google pole dance accidents and just see what happens when the equipment malfunctions, either because of user error, like wasn't properly installed, or it's a piece of shit and it breaks, or it doesn't do what it's supposed to and comes off. This again is all pressure fit. It pushes up on the ceiling and pushes down on the floor. There's no screws or anything like that, so you have to do a good install and be very careful not to, you know, to forget to tighten it up every once in a while. Go in and like shake the pole and see if it's coming loose, because it can. You know, it could happen, especially if you don't have maybe the proper sealing. I didn't actually use this much because in my other place, because my landlady had told me that the ceiling wouldn't handle it. Turns out that was not true, but me being paranoid, I decided to take her word for it and only used it a couple times. But in here I was too busy with my son. Oh, that's unfit. So, to do much dancing. Oh, I'm missing one of the tubes. And that sucks. Not in a good way. But anyways, I'm going to just put these away.